Using an assignment I've already built, I'm just going to take you through a couple advanced features of assignments. If you are not looking to do anything fancy or special and you just want to stick with what you know, stop this video. This is for people that are ready to push ahead and try other things with their assignments. So I'm going into the assignment that I built and I'm choosing Edit. From here, I'm going to walk you through some of the different submission types and the types of assignments you can assign to your students. So no submission obviously means that they're not submitting anything. On paper would be like if you're doing a quiz or a test or something that they're going to do as classwork, but you still want to create the assignment so that it's visible in Canvas to your distance learning students, which is ideal. You want that for all your students. Then you would select on paper. Online gives you a lot more options. So text entry would just basically give them a text entry box similar to what you see right here, and they would type the response directly into Canvas. Website URL would give them, you'll see when they go to submit, only a box where all they can do is post a link. So let me publish it and do the student view. So when they went to submit, all they could give you was a link here in the start assignment section, and that's all it will allow them to do. So they can either pull something from their Canvas Studio and it will just link from their studio. They could pull something from their Google Drive, or they could pull something from Office 365. But yeah, this will only give them a website URL. They could add like a text comment to you, but what you're grading is actually the URL. The other option is a media recording. So if you wanted them to submit either an audio, maybe you're doing a language class, so you want to hear them speaking, or if you have them doing like a video, maybe a screencast of them like working a math problem, you would choose media recording so they can only submit either a video or audio. Student annotation is a new one for this year. And basically what it's going to do is allow you to pull from your course files. So any like files that you've uploaded, literally like, where is it? This section here. So like if you have a Word doc or a PowerPoint slide or something like that, you would select that file from the course file section or from the My Files section. So I probably have a bit more in here. And then what would happen is it would basically turn it into a worksheet. So students would use the Canvas editing tools, doc editing tools, very similar to if you've used Canvas, the SpeedGrader tools. So like the little bubble that allows them to insert comment. They can use the tablet pen, although I will say the responsiveness is not that great. So the writing can get very distorted. But basically student annotation will allow them to actually like mark up a document. So it's kind of the closest thing we have to a worksheet replacement, or if you want them to highlight and annotate a reading, something like that, then you could use student annotation, which is new for this year. So anytime something's new, there's bound to be a couple of glitches. You just have to be patient if you're using something new. If you don't already have the file in there, you could choose to upload the file. Let me just pull any kind of worksheet. Okay, let's put that in and see what happens. So now the file's been uploaded. Let's save it and then view it from student view to see what it looks like. Okay, so again, it looks just like your SpeedGrader. Now they could go in and technically they could like write their name, but again, the writing gets kind of distorted. Maybe they're better at it than I am. They could add bubble comments. So this would be 2021, enter. So yeah, it basically like allows them to mark up a file and then submit when they're done. I'd be curious to see from the teacher end what this kind of looks like. So let's just take a quick peek. All right, so now I could pull it up in my SpeedGrader and I'd be able to see the markup that my students have done, and I can grade it, add my comments. So yeah, that's basically what you would get in. It's a nice worksheet replacement tool. Now you don't have to use an outside extension for that. And then finally, the last one you've got is file upload. So this one's pretty standard. If you choose to restrict the file upload, then it'll, you could say a doc or a PowerPoint or a PDF, whatever it is you're looking for. I tend to leave that to people that are better at tech. All right, so those are your submission options. Remember, when you choose an option, you've also got to decide how many attempts you're going to give them. those are your online options. The other one is your external tools. So external tools are basically outside programs that hook into your Canvas. For example, you'll see a big listing when you click find. We don't have access to all of those. You just kind of have to play around. Canvas Studio, they will have access to for video purposes. Let's see. Google Drive is probably the one I use most, cloud assignments, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like in a second. Hypothesis is another great tool, particularly if you're assigning a lot of readings. It basically turns your PDF reading into a discussion board so students can layer their comments, read each other's comments, reply to each other. Kami was the tool I used to use for worksheets because they didn't have that student annotation option before. It allows students to basically write on things. And Office 365 would be another one we have access to that would allow them to, that would allow you to go in and anything you have in 365 to upload. I'm going to show you what a Google Drive assignment looks like. So what it would do is basically it would hook into my drive, which I've already set up with my Canvas, and then I can pull anything that I've got in here. So maybe I'll pull something from my teaching. Let's pull from here. Maybe I just want to give them like a let's see, really anything that I have as a, okay. There's not really anything for them to do on this, but I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. Okay, then I press select. Whenever you use an external tool, you always want to load it in a new tab. And then I save. So basically what this would look like for our students is they'd go into student view, load it in a new tab, authorize. It probably isn't going to work because I can't do it from student view. But basically it just takes anything that's in your Google Drive and like auto copies it for them, and they can submit directly in Canvas. Let's see if it'll let me preview. Yeah, so this is basically what it would look like. They would get the copy of the doc here. They could go in, edit, whatever. And then when they're done, it just kind of like auto saves their progress as they go. And they'll have a submit button in the upper right-hand corner. So when they're finished, they submit the finished product to you. Or they can always file, download, and I always have them download as a PDF and then submit. So yeah, there's lots of options that you can do. Those are just some of the external tools that are available. The last thing I want to show you is group assignments. So to do group assignments, previously I always went through Canvas collaborations, but it looks like they've made group assignments a little bit easier. So I'm going to do just an online, and I'm going to choose this as, I have to go in and delete the fake assignment I did. Hold on one second. Right. If I want to make something a group assignment, I would go in and check this is a group assignment. You can choose to assign grades to each student individually, or the whole group gets the same grade. I'm going to keep it simple like that. And it's going to ask you to select a group category. So I've already set up my groups for Unit 1. This is a really simple task. You could do this by just going into, open in a new tab where it says People. And here you'll see a listing of the students in your course. It's easy to just press the plus button and create a new group set. In this case, this is my Unit 1 groups, and if I click, I can see a drop down of all the students that are in the group. I can always drag and drop students and slide them into other groups, and I just have the computer create random groups for me. All right, so if you wanted to do a group assignment, that's one way you could do it. The other option is maybe this assignment isn't for everyone. Remember, if you've got multiple sections of a class within your Canvas, you have to be careful about who you assign to. If you want both sections, like block 1 and 2, English 1, to get it, then you would choose everyone. Or you could go in and choose specific sections. Or I might even go in and say, you know what, this is just for particular students. Any students I taught before, I don't want to have the survey because I've already got their previous responses. So students who are new to me, I'm going to go in and just go through and select them individually. So any students I haven't had before, I can go in and I can add manually to that list. And now what that will do is only some students will have the option to submit this assignment. It will only be available to certain students who have to do it. The other option is if I want to go in and let's say I'm going to assign this to my AP Lang and I want at a later date a different group to do this, I can always press the add button and then I'll choose who I'm assigning it to and I can set a different due date. So maybe block 1 has it due on Thursday and block 5 has it due on Friday. So it's easy to assign it to different groups at different times. If you have any questions, please let me know.